18 of the Xbox Hall of Games podcast. This week I'm joined by Cameron.
Hello.
And Keo.
Hello, everybody.
And I'm Matt, as always. We got a pretty big show this week. There's lots of news happening. I mean, smaller stuff, but still, just it's been a big week for news. I've been playing a lot of games too, so we'll see how long this goes for. But how you guys doing? Keo was on last week, but Cameron, it's been a couple weeks for you. How you been?
Yeah, I've just been doing my coursework and all that. Currently doing a contracting and procurement certificate. So I'm being busy with that. And then, just doing, I guess, all the other stuff.
Yeah.
All the life admin,
Yeah, of course. Right.
Yeah.
You guys?
Heaps of stuff for me. Like, work has just been really flat out. So, I've just been piecemealing my game and just doing whatever I can fit it in. And like, I've had to do some tinkering and stuff with a couple of things around here. So I've just been busy all the time. So, yeah. That's about it for the last week. So,
easy.
Also, while we have an audience here, I'm locking down Kia for the next week for Swan. Thanks.
Good. Okay. All right. Finally. Let's
have you guys not got the game done yet? I basically ran you guys through the hardest of difficulties.
Because he keeps getting stolen away from me. I can't do this shit solo. I'm bad.
It's all right.
I've got most of it done. I'm at that point now where I'm just so over it that I'm like, I don't want to do this by myself anymore.
Yeah, that's
it's
fair.
just too boring.
I get it. Yeah, I did a run last night and I got halfway through a run and I'm just like, I don't want to do this on my own anymore. So,
yeah,
it's just like,
I get halfway through the run and I'm just like, one minor inconvenience fucks everything up.
I feel like that game really suffers by not having a checkpoint system mid-run like Hades does, Like, I feel like it would be a lot better if you could be like, oh, I'm halfway through a run, I just need to quit out and come back to this later. But, the runs aren't super
fair,
long,
I don't think that many roguelites do really have checkpoint systems, though, outside of Hades.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's an oversight. Anyway.
It's a good quality to life feature.
For sure.
But
we're fucking, we're getting into middle-aged gaming here, and you can't just be sitting there for 10 hours straight.
The feasibility, though, in a co-op game, though?
Yeah, actually, it's a good point. It does make it difficult, for sure. As always, we do the show live on Twitch. Xbox Hall of Games is the place to find us. Come say hi, hang out in the chat, usual business. Hey, thank you, Moonzon, for subscribing. We got some wonderful people in here, some of our great community members. So we got Rainer Dan and Mike and who else is here? Bulbasaur's here, Moonzon. Adrian's here for some reason. Don't know what he's doing, but
before we move ahead, I'd just like to point out I'm a dickhead for having two computers on and leaving the Bluetooth on both of them, and the headset that I was trying to use did not work because the other had Bluetooth connected. Whoops.
Yep.
I have sound.
It's the good old ID10.
Oh man. Welcome to the Hall of Gamers podcast.
Yeah, exactly. We do have a community question from Red Ninja Dan who says, if you guys could open up a game-themed restaurant, what game would you theme it around and what would your menu be? I mean...
I love this question. This is my favorite question.
I feel like the Japanese have already done this, though, right? Like there are so many, activations at cafes. Like when I eventually get to Japan, I'm going to be keeping an eye out for all the, pop-up cafes for all the, a Final Fantasy cafe. They're VTuber cafes. They're a Resident Evil one.
Yep. Well, where am I going in September?
Yeah, right, exactly.
So I had multiple different answers for this. I'm going to Japan in September. We're going to Universal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go to the Harry Potter stuff. I'm going to go to Mario. So I'll get those kind of experiences there because you've got that built into the theme parks.
Sure.
But I think the true answer for this question for me, if you wanted a legitimate, successful business, would be to lean into retro gaming.
Yeah, okay. I could see that for sure.
Retro gaming and just work your prices around drinks. There was bars in Melbourne. I think it was GG Easy.
Yeah, okay, right.
That did video game themed drinks and.
Was Mana Bar in Melbourne as well? I can't remember. Yeah, there were definitely a few of those, right?
I think there was like
the Mana Bar was
Mana.
in Brisbane.
Right. Yes.
And that was one that I went to, I think, when it opened, actually. So that was an interesting one, actually. So, yeah. That was actually done by, what's his name that does... man.
That was Yahtzee's, right? Zero punctuation.
It was the, yeah.
Yeah.
Yahtzee.
Second wind. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the safe wanting a successful business kind of answer would be just going the retro gaming route. I'm trying to think if I had to pick one particular video game, what would be the best thing to lean into? I feel like it would have to be like Mario or Pokemon or something, but then...
I mean, no, the obvious answer is like fucking Monster Hunter, right? You just do all kinds of weird meats and shit from animals.
They have done that before, though, haven't they?
Well, that's what I'm saying is that like Japan has beaten us to this question, you know, in terms of like, there's so many different things that you could do that they've kind of done. I mean, I watched a video around, was it like Sea Dog and Iron Mouse, like they had like a pop-up cafe and he did like a video of going there and meeting people and stuff, and the food looked fucking amazing. There was a Final Fantasy cafe a few weeks back that I heard about that looked really, really good, and actually one of my friends just got back from Japan and was like, I went to the Final Fantasy cafe and they kept asking me what class I was, and I'm like, bro, I have no idea, I don't play Final Fantasy, I just want the cool food. But
that's it.
The correct answer is monk, by the way. But anyway.
Yes, monk. Yes, exactly. Yeah, just plain rice.
We have had activations in Australia though. I can remember them. There was like a what is it called? I'm blanking on the name right now, but they did like a God of theme. In Melbourne, did a God of Thor themed menu.
Cool.
Yes, I
remember you talking about this. Yes, actually, yes.
There was the Sonic one to tie in for the movies. I can't remember what that restaurant was called.
Yeah.
There was... I'm pretty sure there was like an Uber Eats campaign too, where they picked a few video games and did a collab with PlayStation.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Like, everyone's got to eat. And like, I mean, this kind of takes me back to the whole, like, you know, like Master Chief being on Mountain Dew and Doritos and all that kind of shit, right? Like the brand activation and nothing new.
The two-stroke V, the Halo one.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. So drink it. You're literally drinking two-stroke oil.
Yeah,
I'll tell you. Yeah. So, yeah.
Like I watch YouTubers all the time that do video game cookbook reviews.
Yeah.
Because I just think it's interesting, like stuff like Fallout.
It was like Skyrim
I know.
cookbook, I think.
What's the channel called? They do like the try not to eat videos.
I have no idea.
It's like one of the React channels, and it's like
Gotcha.
They'll bring out all video game themed food or a particular theme. You'll try not to eat it. If you eat it, then you have to do a punishment round at the very end and have how many bites of it.
Yeah, okay.
And it's fucked.
So a meme cafe.
Okay. Yeah.
A
skibbity toilet cafe.
Lego
yes,
one.
Thank you.
The Lego one, they have a cool thing. Lego Sweden, yeah?
Norway. No, sorry, Denmark.
Norway.
Denmark.
Denmark, okay. There's a restaurant at the Lego theme park where you build your meal, put it through, and then it takes that as your order.
That's kind of cool.
So you actually build your order with Lego bricks to put it through a computer.
That's a really fun idea. I like that a lot, actually.
The
Moonzone does suggest Lego. No teeth for anyone after one meal. Yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, you know what the correct answer here, though, is IKEA should do a backrooms themed meal thing where you have to try, like, they just take out all the furniture and you have to try and find your way to the cafe to get your meatballs. And existential dread.
Well, I can double down with that. They can make it exo-primal themed and have two teams against each other. And then there's a pit up in the middle.
100%. You go from one end to the other and you got to try and get to the... Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's only so many foods in the world. And, like, I think that I mean, most of the stuff is gimmicky, right? Like, but I love gimmicky shit. So like when I
Yeah.
if I go to a restaurant and they're offering like a Pink Panther kids cocktail, I probably will be ordering it.
Mhm.
You know, like Deep Blue. I basically drank Deep Blue Seas as a kid and like now have never changed. So I'm super down if they want to rebrand that to some fucking Zelda shit or some Mario. I mean, like again, like I'll go to any video game thing if it sounds interesting. I'm mostly interested in the food, not necessarily the theme, but the theme does make it stand out a bit.
Yeah.
Is there any like video game themed food that you immediately just go, yes, I want to try this in real life?
What was it? What was that? Was it Dragon's Dogma or something? Or it was some game where they just I'm trying to remember what it was. It was some Japanese game where they're like, "Wow, this cooking animation looks really good," and then it just turns out that they just basically just filmed them cooking like a nice steak and just put it in the game as like an FMV or whatever. They were just like, "Well, we couldn't be bothered animating it, so we just took the money we would give to the animation studio and just went and bought some nice steaks."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a hell of a lot of food in Monster Hunter, right? So
yeah, Monster Hunter has some great looking food.
It could have been something like Monster Hunter, honestly. So
yeah,
like 100%. Something like that of that vein, right? But yeah.
My mind goes to sea salt popsicle out of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh yeah, okay, I could see that.
Just something really nice and basic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I'm just thinking like Studio Ghibli food. Like no one does food like Studio Ghibli does. Just
oh yeah, that's on the plan.
I would love to go to the Studio Ghibli cafe. I'm trying. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
I've told Nikita that she needs to lock down those tickets.
Oh, that's the thing. Like I was looking at those tickets. Like a lot of stuff is like a lottery system, so it's like you just might get there and just not be able to get in. Yeah. It's just luck of the draw, unfortunately. Food Wars, Bulbasaur, like Food Wars. We can't be talking about Food Wars on this podcast. We'll get fucking demonetized. It's
Jesus.
Yeah, Food Wars does have some amazing looking food. But anyway,
have you made any video game themed?
I don't cook, so no.
I made the Nuka-Cola. That was really nice.
Yes, I saw the recipe for that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think I have either. I mean, one year I made Christmas decorations like video game shit because there was people that it was relevant to. So, but yeah.
I'm the only person who gives a shit about video games in my family, so it's I would just be like making shit for people who don't appreciate it, so they can get fucked.
Yeah, but maybe I need to make a Ghost Leviathan pepper from Subnautica.
Yes, I was going to say, speaking of people who are underappreciated, Subnautica 2.
Oh,
Subnautica. Yes, that's what we call a segue in the a seg in the
Sorry, I heard sub.
Huh?
I heard sub.
Sub, yes, exactly, yes.
Yeah, sub sandwich too.
Yeah, sub sandwich. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, cool.
Not to be confused with Dob sandwich. Subnautica 2 sells 2 million copies in 12 hours and has over 600k current concurrent players. Now, obviously, we've covered the Crafton mess over the last few months around the whole legal battle, and Crafton using ChatGPT, Crafton CEO using ChatGPT to try and getting out of paying. The whatever, like 250 million whatever dollars, it's some ridiculous amount of money. But yeah, so they sort of won their legal battle and managed to get the rights to put out Subnautica 2 in early access, and people are eating it up. I don't know if it's good. Again, I don't think we've kind of got to the stage where people can say it's good or not. But
we have our Subnautica 2 correspondent in the chat. Ireland has played through it. He has played through all the early access, and then see, it's amazing. And then he immediately jumped on Forza after.
Excellent. That's good news. I think that was the thing, right? Like, this was always going to be a smash hit in terms of initial launch. People were going to jump on it. But whether it had the staying power, whether it actually, again, because the big thing with Crafton was they were saying that the game was not ready to be released and that the founders were trying to push it out early to try and get their bonus. But it sounds like Crafton would just try not to pay $250 million. And it sounds like they're going to be fucked on that regard because I think this game's already hit 2 million sales so far as of this morning, which is crazy. I don't know how much more there is to say about this other than this has been a huge launch and hugely successful. Are we interested? Are we? I mean, yeah.
Okay, so I downloaded it and I loaded it up, realized it was game preview, and then I was like, game preview, and I didn't want to do it. I'd buy it, but I also don't want to buy it in game preview. But I want to support the fact that this shit's gone on. So I'm torn, guys. I'm really, really torn. So, yeah. But I love Subnautica. It got me into the rogue kind of like, dying and building and all that.
The
kind
survival
of shit,
crafting genre that you guys constantly keep trying to trick me into playing.
Survival crafting.
Survival crafting as much as other people.
I don't know.
Void Train was good. Void Train was really good.
Was it?
I liked it.
I would have been bored to tears playing that on my own. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm obviously this will be a huge smash success. Like, I don't think there was any doubt of that. Like, Subnautica is a lot of people's like favorite game of all time. Like the fact that it's
I need to play it. Red Ninja Den says you need to play it.
That's fair. Like, I mean, like the fact that this game sold like 2 million copies in like half a day is like that's like there's success and then there's this. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, if we wait a week and they add achievements, then I might even just buy that.
Yeah, let's see what the achievement situation's like.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like Hollow Knight was the most wishlisted and then it was Subnautica 2?
I think Subnautica 2 was like the third. I think it was one other one in there. I think it was like something else. But yeah, for sure. It was definitely like super high on the list. Yeah.
I mean, if I do play this, I'll probably play it because of Corey, in all honesty.
Sure.
But I'm not drawn to it the same way I was to like games like Void Train.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
They're like swimming, guys.
I mean, like, I like the idea of Subnautica. Like, I like the idea of like exploring a cool underwater thing and doing like cool missions and stuff. But like, it's the crafting and survival stuff that just always pulls me out. I'm like, I don't want to have to manage my oxygen or my. Oh, actually, most of the stuff you can turn off, which is good. But like, I don't know. I don't really want to go mining.
For somebody, for somebody that's from inland country Queensland, I'm a huge ocean guy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I live on an island, so the ocean is my constant companion. Just like in that movie, The Lighthouse. All right, I don't think there's much else to say here, to be honest. I mean, like we'll keep an eye on how it performs. This will probably be some chat happening around the Game of the Year edition.
How's it rating in game preview?
Good question. I think are they? Yeah, are people? Again, I don't know if reviews are out for it yet because it is so new.
Steam. I'm sure there'll be like early access reviews on Steam. Though.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they definitely.
Do we need to read out the reviews on the show?
No, I think it's
94%,
probably 94%.
very positive.
Okay, yeah, that's again no big surprise.
Yeah, I was just curious, like how much of a smash success this was. Sometimes sequels take some features out and that, and annoy some of the player base.
Oh, for sure. Like, it was never guaranteed to be a great game, which is always guaranteed to be a popular one.
Yeah.
All right, Cameron, you've grabbed a couple of stories. What do we got here?
All right. So my favorite news story of the week was Forza Horizon 6 player got banned 7,973 years for playing the cracked version. So I'm not sure if you guys mentioned this on last week's pod. I was out because of Mother's Day. I tuned in for like 10 minutes, but yeah, the files, the files got exposed on Steam.
Yeah, no one's quite sure how it happened, but unencrypted files, again, like the preload came in.
Yeah, I think it's Steam side.
Yeah, the rumor is that Steam side. People have been pointing fingers at each other trying to figure out what was going on. But yeah, a lot of stuff's leaked recently, like this did, Subnautica 2 did. Yeah.
There was that, which I'm pretty sure it was the devs. What was that game? The Vampire? The one from the same devs that did RoboCop.
Oh.
That uploaded the wrong
Yes,
build.
that's right, yes. The one that we saw the trailer for the other day. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's out now. It's just like, who would have guessed? Anyway. So yeah, basically, some players decided that they were going to access the cracked version of the build early, and lo and behold, they found out they were banned to 31st of December 9999 AD.
Yikes.
Love it.
So
They did put out a bit of a statement on Twitter, I think it was, where they were talking about how they're like, yeah, if you play the cracked early version of the game, like you could get like a whole franchise ban, which is really tough if you want to pick up those other achievements. But yeah, I mean, look, like if you're dumb enough to play a cracked early game that you have not paid for. Look, like if you bought this and they accidentally put it on the store early and you played it, like whatever. I'm sure they would be like, whatever, it sucks. But the fact that like obviously this is a pirated version of this game that people aren't paying for, that connects to their servers and they can tell who is playing it. Like how dumb can you how dumb do you have to be anyway? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It also doesn't help that he uploaded like a YouTube video of it. And just like literally just self-reported, which is so funny to me.
Franchise ban though is fucked.
Yeah. To be fair,
I'm just trying to think of like how many Forza Horizon games we're probably going to get. Like this is such a successful franchise now. It's probably going to keep on coming out every few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing you have to realize is that everybody has been franchise banned because they delist every game. So.
I was going to say, like, yeah, like if you're not playing the most recent one, what are you going to fucking do? Exactly. Like, I thought about going back to Forza Horizon 4, and I was like, oh, no, I can't. I basically can't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still mad about 2. But I'm missing those couple of achievements, but I was going to say I've got all the achievements in every title except for the 360 version of 2.
Yeah,
may as well keep going.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, this very quick news story, but just the time period, though, 7,970 years is just wild.
Yeah, that is crazy. I mean, I wonder if they'll get it out first. I mean, I'm sure if they complain enough on Twitter, someone will be nice about them in a couple of years.
Speaking of Twitter,
I've heard of it.
Did you guys know that Xbox is now Xbox?
I had heard this. Yes, I was going to put this as a news story, but I was like, it might be the dumbest thing I've seen in a while.
Matt, we work in marketing. How do you feel about this?
Well, to be fair, if you have to show a picture of what you've changed as opposed to being able to explain it in words because you've just changed it from Xbox to uppercase Xbox, I mean, sure. Like,
so to go through this story, there was basically a poll run on Twitter about what the rebranding should be.
Yeah.
And Xbox in capital letters won out. And it's renamed. They've renamed the X account. They haven't renamed the Threads and the Blue Sky accounts for Xbox just yet, but I imagine that would be changed soon.
Yeah.
But how do we feel about massive multi-billion I don't know. I don't know what the amount would be.
$1 trillion companies deciding shit on fucking Twitter.
On Twitter?
On X, the polls. Everything app? Yeah. I mean, look, like
consumer buy-in. There we go.
I was gonna say, like this is just democracy manifest, you know? Like this is how it should be. Is it should be a bunch of really entitled people being like, you should change this name, and a company being like, you know what, that's a great fucking idea. To be fair, we are talking about it on a show because of the ridiculous way they did it, and obviously we have Xbox is in the name of this podcast, so there is an element of like, well, what are you gonna do? But it is very funny.
Yeah.
So guys, decided here right now, right this second, we're renaming the podcast.
Are we? Okay. Yep. Well, let's get a poll up.
Uppercase Xbox. All right, everybody in the chat, we want to know lowercase Xbox or uppercase Xbox.
Or alternating, so the X is big and the O, and the B is small and the O is big and then the last X is small.
Uppercase.
Yeah, no.
Not only will I not be doing that, uppercase, but in lowercase. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Actually, what is the Spotify at the moment?
I'm pretty sure should
I'm
just
gonna-
be. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is like capital X and then
Okay,
lowercase.
so-
doing that.
Here's the deal. When you fix the description on the Twitch to actually have me in it, you could do whatever the fuck you want with the title.
I'm pretty okay. I think the Twitch I need to update, but everything else should have everyone else's name in it. I went through and updated it when I
Alright.
did the new music.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I think so. Again, like double check.
Because it's been on my new to-do list for a while.
Yeah.
Hosted by Aussie, Kiwi, and American Achievement Hunters.
Yeah. Okay. So it's generic. It's fine.
And then the name comes under mine and yours
Yeah, that makes sense.
for like creating
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We must scream Xbox.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also, I just
Um,
double checked the PlayStations because they have their, they've got to have capitalized play, the P in the play, and then the S for the station. They would completely lose their branding if they capitalized completely. I think, like, because that is like their thing. PlayStation is separate.
Is like play and the
technically,
station. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's joined, but it's separate. So yeah, even though everyone just sees PlayStation with a capital P, it's
Yeah,
technically
PS
not, so-
PlayStation. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah, so really, Xbox should have done uppercase X, B, O, and then uppercase X. And we would have been good, right?
I guess so. I mean, like again, like this is a nothing story, right? This is another one of these fucking Ash Sharma things where they're changing some shit that no one cares about really, and getting a good news story out of it, and we're talking about it. So whatever.
Did we? We didn't mention the changes to the achievement. The badges.
No,
and
I
that,
was going to
did we?
briefly bring them up as something that's kind of just come out that they've updated. They're adding a new badge for certain achievement milestones. Looks kind of cool. They have a blank one for 10 million because no one's quite hit that yet, which is crazy, but people aren't too far away. Yeah, I think it's a cool change. It's nice to see. I don't know how much visibility it's going to get, or are they going to? Is True Achievements going to do some integration with it? Maybe, I don't know. I think I've said for years that Xbox really should take a page out of TA's book and start implementing some of those features on their server side. That where they have, they have the visibility of every single player on the Xbox, where True Achievements only has the people who have signed up for True Achievements. I'd love to see. I'd love to see the flip side.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. There was also a leaked controller, or a couple of leaked controllers. Again, this is a rumor, but there's been some pictures of the Elite Series 3 with a slightly new, like a slightly different button configuration, as well as something called the Cloud Pad. That looks like a bit of like a weird oblong sort of like wide controller shape, which I was like, yeah, again, I don't know. It looks it almost looks
Very uncomfortable.
Kind of fluffy, I guess.
Yeah,
almost
I
like a
guess.
cloud.
Yeah, I guess it's like a small form factor, kind of like, I don't know, like it does not look very ergonomic, I gotta say.
Which to me seems crazy because, I mean, the standard Xbox Series X controller is one of the most, if not the most ergonomic controller there is.
Oh, for
In
sure.
my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
yeah, honestly, the pictures of this Elite 3 look a little bit too rounded for me. It actually resembles the original Xbox controller, I think, more. Which
There's
is
some leaks
kind of interesting.
from when I remember.
Yeah, there was apparently it has like a slightly less powerful battery, but potentially has some improved tech to keep battery life good. Again, these are like leaked photos, so there's very little actual information with them yet.
AI.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not a huge surprise that there's going to be Elite Series 3 controller. I think, maybe we'll get an announcement at Summer Games Fest for the new stuff they're doing in that place.
I could not remember. The biggest change I would say would be the fact that it's including a removable battery
Yes.
pack.
Yeah.
That
a rechargeable one. Yeah.
That's the thing I hate about this one. Is just being able to swap a battery packet in and out of it would be much better way.
Well, some territories
is there
have to be
Wi-Fi?
legal about that now. so
Yeah,
they have
EU
to
stuff,
swap out the
yeah.
batteries. So, yeah.
It looks like probably the most interesting thing on the Elite 3 though is these little scroll wheels that they kind of have at the bottom of it. They look like, I don't know, maybe it's like the equivalent like a mouse wheel kind of thing, where it's like if you want to swap guns or something, or you want to like go through menu quickly. I think it might be a little bit of an interesting idea. It feels like it's in a weird spot though, because like you have your thumbs, you have to put your thumbs under the controller to. I don't know. I mean, I guess you still have the paddles and stuff. So
I don't know. It seems okay. That's not a
that's
bad
fair.
spot.
That's fair. Yeah, I can see
Terribly.
that.
It's like, and if you like hold left trigger, bring up the radial dial, and you just scroll with the scroll wheel as like a way to rotate without having to navigate the scroll wheel, that would make things quicker.
Well, I was thinking about this in the context of the Project Helix, and the idea that Project Helix is going to have like a PC hybrid, but the majority of people who are thinking about this as a console aren't going to have a keyboard and mouse next to them as well as a controller. So maybe they're looking to try and make the controller more like Steam controller-y, like where they can kind of do more stuff that's more PC adjacent to make the game, make it a bit more, user friendly.
Yeah, like that left joypad could become a mouse, like a a mouse or something.
Yeah, like a nub or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll stay tuned for this. The cloud controller thing is the strangest one. I really don't understand what's going on with that, because it just looks uncomfortable.
I'm just wondering if it's just a cheap alternative for
like kids.
Like somebody gets a TV, that kind of thing. Just a cheap,
sure, I guess,
add-on kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess there is that piece there around like selling the controllers to hook up to your TV. Yeah, like your TV with Bluetooth or your Wi-Fi, just so it runs. Like, because you don't want to buy an Xbox, because cloud controller, I guess, does kind of indicate that.
It could even be like you think of the Switch controller form factor.
Yeah,
if it's like a family-orientated controller with like Mario Kart, those kind of games.
It definitely looks more like a Joy-Con for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll see. All right. This should be another quick one here. Discord Nitro. So you've probably seen this if you're a Discord user. They've included, if you have Nitro, you now get access to a starter edition of Game Pass, which has 50 games in it. Gives you this, again, it's basically like the entry-level Game Pass stuff. We kind of heard some rumors about this a little while ago. Probably important to point out, this only counts if you are a Nitro member. You get these benefits. There's no actual benefits for being an Xbox Game Pass member for things on Discord yet, although they have talked about doing some more in that space as well. I don't know, like, I guess it makes kind of sense. The kinds of people who would spend money on Nitro are probably, relatively invested gamers, and getting them access to Game Pass for quote-unquote free is probably not a bad shout. I don't know, do you guys pay for Nitro?
No.
I did when I needed to for work because of, uploading server size, that kind of stuff. It's just easier alternative to using like Dropbox, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing community management and social media. I think this is great though. It is a good like little, I guess, bite of Game Pass. The fact that it includes access to cloud streaming, but it's only like 10 hours a month.
Yeah, which is, I think, pretty much the same as the Essentials tier, right? I think is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's I guess the most... What is it? Is the list of games there?
I don't think so, but I think it is basically that 50 on the Essential tier. I don't think there's
Fallout
anything...
4,
yeah.
Stardew Valley, DayZ.
Mostly first-party stuff,
yeah.
but a few other bits and pieces, yeah.
Pretty good offer.
Yeah,
especially
I don't think it's a bad idea. Already. Yeah, they probably looked at the people that use Discord and then stream to Discord, or just something Xbox related that intersects, and it's just like, it just makes sense. I mean, I don't have Nitro, but I would get Nitro for the Xbox benefits if I got out of my Ultimate tier.
Sure. Yeah, if you weren't already using Game Pass.
Nitro. Yeah. If I didn't want Premium or Ultimate, I would get the Nitro instead, and then still have Game Pass. So yeah. So I guess they're kind of outsourcing their lowest tier, you could say. So
yeah, which I think makes sense, right? Like they've been trying to grow numbers, especially on PC, where most of the Discord audience is. It makes sense to go, hey, cool. If you have Discord Nitro and you're a PC user, you now have access to all these games for free.
yeah.
It's good that it's both console and PC games though, not just PC Game Pass.
Yeah. I mean, again, that they're trying to move to that everything being everywhere, like everything being play everywhere and all that kind of stuff. So I think that
break down a bit of the confusion.
Yeah, exactly. I think PC Game Pass will eventually become like a thing of the past. They'll phase that out and just kind of include some of that stuff into like a Game Pass subscription. They've been talking about potentially doing new tiering anyway, so it wouldn't surprise me at all. What's the story about Splitgate developers, Cameron?
Yeah, so I included this because I like Titanfall. Everybody loves Titanfall.
Never
we
heard
should
of
get
it.
a Titanfall. Yeah, whatever. So 1047 Games has teased a game called Impulse, which appears to be a spiritual successor to Titanfall to Inside Gaming. So they got pre-alpha gameplay footage on the condition that wasn't to go public, and it shows players fighting in team deathmatch using grappling hooks, wall running, boost pads to quickly traverse, and there's also giant mechs on the map that you can essentially use as well. I find it interesting because I really gelled with Splitgate 1 and Splitgate... Oh, well, not as much with Splitgate 2. I still enjoyed it. I've said multiple times on the podcast, I love games like Sunset Overdrive and Titanfall because just like a rush of adrenaline when you're speeding around the map. Splitgate 2 essentially failed to, I guess, do the numbers that they're after. So they decided to pivot to this game instead, which I think if anybody other than EA was going to tackle Titanfall, I probably would hope that these devs would do it.
Yeah, they basically Thanos'd it. Well, like, fuck it, I'll do it myself. Just like, you know, they're not doing a Titanfall 3.
Yeah.
They've had the license for ages. Let's do something similar. Yeah. I mean, I'm all for this.
I feel grotty about the CEO being like, let's make gaming great again.
Sure, there is that.
But I think outside of this, I'm hoping it is one of those games that does feel like Titanfall.
It is,
because there is a spot in the market that is missed, and I don't need any excuse to go back to Apex.
For sure.
I don't even know anybody that really plays Apex anymore, too.
I mean, do we know anyone who plays any Battle Royales?
I've got multiple people that play Fortnite.
Really?
I was in Discord last night. People playing
I've never
Fortnite.
spoken with a person
Corey
who played Fortnite.
Fortnite.
I refuse to speak to people who play Fortnite. Yeah, I think that, like, again, it is important to call out that this is in pre-alpha, right? Like, this is super early. Almost like it's basically just past the concept phase. But I love the idea. But I will say that the thing that grabbed me most about Titanfall 2 obviously was the campaign. You know, it has one of the best shooter campaigns of all time, if not the best. And so I'm really hoping that this isn't just going to be like the multiplayer obviously was a huge part of that game, but the single player was the thing that people really, really talked about. And I'm hoping that they don't, again, like because Splitgate has always been a multiplayer game, I'm hoping that they don't lose out on the single player side of things.
So you think I played Titanfall 1 and then Titanfall 2? Titanfall 1 perfected their movements. Like, sure. I think Titanfall 1 is probably my favorite multiplayer game of all time. Mm-hmm. Just in terms of like movement, how it feels and everything. Titanfall 2, they didn't need to reinvent the wheel or anything.
Sure.
A lot of Titanfall 2's maps on multiplayer are the exact same ones as the first game, just reskinned.
Yeah, with some new stuff in them. Yeah, for sure.
That's why so much time went into the campaign, in my opinion. So even if it was the case that this came out as a multiplayer game and it was a well enough success, hopefully they could pivot to a campaign based.
Maybe
I just don't expect that it would be in a game like this when
I just
a
don't
lot of,
I just don't think
you know.
it'll have in the same way that Titanfall 1 doesn't really get talked about all that much. Like Titanfall, you're right. Like Titanfall 1, basically, like Titanfall 2 is built off the bones of Titanfall 1, but people don't really talk about Titanfall 1 that fondly outside of you. But like,
I fucking love it.
I know, but like in terms of like the people who talk about that series, they're always talking about the second game. They're always talking about the sequel, and that's kind of what I'm like. I feel like if you're going to do this, and you're like, oh, it's a successor to Titanfall, you can't do half the game. If you get what I mean.
Titanfall 1 had to walk though before Titanfall 2 could run.
I agree.
It's that.
Yeah, I agree, but I think that like we live in a world where Splitgate can look at those two games and go, cool, yeah, they've done the walking and running, we can do the next stage. Because I just don't think it's going to have a big appeal if it's multiplayer only. People are going, oh, that's cool. That's like, I love Titanfall stuff, but it's just not going to. I don't think it's going to have longevity or
Yeah, I think
I
think they need to. I mean, like they've done multiplayer with the Splitgate series. I don't think they could do that. Like I didn't touch Splitgate 1 and 2 because of like the whole everything to do with like what it was. Really, I wanted to play it, but I just didn't. It's the only game that I haven't been willing to touch as a multiplayer game.
Splitgate?
Even as much as I wanted to play Splitgate, I avoided it for all of the things that came up from it. So there's just a lot.
Splitgate 1 was so fun, and 2 was just like, how do we appeal to every crowd there is? And it was like,
So it was just like, there was something that was missed in both areas. But they were both distinctly different issues with both games. But I really wanted to play both of them, and I just did not. And considering I'd just jump on anything, this needs to have single player. So,
yeah. The last thing I wanted to mention too, this is heavily inspired by both Titanfall and Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which I think Black Ops 3's multiplayer Omni movement system, I think it was.
Yeah,
was pretty fun. I still have fond memories, if Adrian's still in the chat, of calling in care packages and having them fall in my head. I still got those 2 clips from those butchers and that. It's great.
Yeah.
All right.
And the only other thing too is that they're getting rid of the arcadey colors for more of a tone similar to X-Defiant.
Yeah. Okay. X-Defiant might not be the best thing for them to reference, but. I get what
I know. Or your browns and your
get grays, dog shit browns and gunmetal greys like we're back in 2007.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the best thing about X-Defiant was the Rayman level.
That's what I heard, yeah. All right. This will be a quick one because this is basically a rumor. Best Buy is telling its affiliates that they're apparently starting GTA 6 pre-orders next week. And this has, for some reason, sparked a bunch of people going, oh, they're going to release a new trailer. I don't understand how these two things are related at all. Yeah, I guess that, like, you can pre, like, what? Like, yeah, you can pre-order the most anticipated game of all time. Like, I don't understand how that coincides with any of that sort of stuff. I mean, outside of like obviously they wanted to potentially push pre-orders and do like our pre-orders available now. Like, still, I don't feel like Take-Two even need to worry about that.
They would have looked at last year and went, "Look, guys, this is going to be our lowest week for games or whatever, like in the last fiscal year. So how do we drum it up? Oh, let's do pre-orders for GTA."
Yeah, exactly, right. And it's not like there's the whole confirmed release date thing and people saying that it's going to get pushed again. I mean, look, like, how many times, how long did people pre-order Duke Nukem Forever for? It was like, they just keep getting pushed out and pushed out and pushed out. Like, just because you pre-order something doesn't mean it's coming out that date either. So, I don't know. I just was like, why is this going on? This seems like a really weird logical jump that someone on Reddit made or some shit.
There's no reason to pre-order.
Yeah. No, that's the other bit too, is that pre-orders are a waste of fucking time. If any game is not going to run out, it's going to be this one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I have a on a side note, I have a random ass trucky cap, like just a normal cap with Duke Nukem Forever on it, and it has a bottle opener, like a metal bottle opener, on
Jesus
the actual
Christ.
lip of the cap, and it's
Probably
just
the
sitting
most
like
useful Duke Nukem's ever been.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just sitting around somewhere, right? So yeah, it's nearby. So
That's really funny.
Does it have storage for your chewing gum?
no, it's brown
Damn it.
and it's
Damn it.
white. It's actually a really ugly hat, but it's in Duke Nukem colors. So
I would never have guessed.
Yeah. All right. Outbound developer apologizes for asking player to remove negative review from Steam. I mean, if this isn't
that's no.
I was gonna say, if this isn't the Streisand effect hitting a developer, I don't know what is. Because I hadn't even thought about this game until I saw this news story, and I was like, "Oh, bro, this is not the play."
yeah.
I just so there was a Steam review that was posted on Reddit where one player wrote a review calling its mechanics incredibly shallow and saying definitely not worth the asking price. And the studio said it understood that the game wasn't to the player's liking and quote unquote offered no hard feelings, but added, "Feel free to send a report request, a support request to Steam support to get a full refund for your purchase. If you do, we'd appreciate it if you would update or remove your negative review." This has not gone down well with some players,
Yeah,
to the surprise of fucking nobody.
this reads like somebody has worked a customer service job in another field, and they have just started working on this and just immediately known this is a big no-no.
Yeah,
Not known this is a big no-no.
yeah. This is
Because that is
Yes.
a very reasonably polite message.
I understand the intent, but the reality is that you shouldn't be going, well, if you don't like my game, review it, but like refund it, but also take away the bad review, guys. Don't let other people know how this game is and how you feel about it.
Yeah. I definitely get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I don't think this is too much of a story. I just think it's just kind of funny. To be
it's not.
They kind of they fucking done goofed, and then they've had to put out a whole PR statement. Just for context, this game has a 64 on Metacritic, so I feel like they're going to get quite a few more mixed reviews as this goes ahead.
And it's really interesting because we know how Steam doesn't they don't vet any of the reviews and they let everything go because it's like a people first kind of thing.
Yes, for sure.
The Reddit thing is kind of just like a sidestep. It's just like you're meeting Reddit's conditions, not Steam's conditions. So it's like, but it's in the vein of what Steam would have, So it's just like, who's controlling that? Like, yeah. So, but sorry, just had a brain aneurysm for a moment. It's fine. So, but yeah. That's fine.
Our next story here is the Steam controller has a fun hidden Easter egg. This has been my favorite story of the week. Apparently, if you throw the Steam controller or drop it, every now and then it lets out a Wilhelm scream, which is the funniest thing in the entire world for them to include.
That's amazing.
Yeah, definitely go check out the video for this. It is the Wilhelm scream. If you don't know what the Wilhelm scream is, it's that scream that you've heard in every film that audio people used to sneak into stuff, and now people just try and put it in once per movie. It's in every Star Wars movie. It's in every Indiana Jones. It's a very distinctive scream when someone gets fucking shot or thrown off a cliff or whatever. And the best part about this is the Steam controller doesn't even have like a speaker on it. They're using the haptics to recreate the sound, which is so like this is the kind of nerdy shit where someone was building this to be like, I bet you I could do this thing.
Like let me test the limits.
Yeah,
I didn't know that actually. Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm not sure if you saw the videos of like testing it. I think it works out to be 1 in 4.
Yeah, and you have to have it in big picture mode for it to work and all this. So there's a few different things too.
Yeah.
I can't believe someone fucking discovered this, by the way. It's just really funny. I guess someone was like, fuck it, I'm done with the controller, threw it, and they're like, what the fuck is that?
I just imagine the first person coming across this.
Yeah.
Just hearing that scream and being like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah. I'm very sad that I didn't get to buy one of those now, so...
yeah.
It will eventually, like, it's stock levels and all that. It'll eventually come out.
It will. Oh yeah, it will. And to be fair, like it only runs on Steam games, so it does have a bit of a limited use case, but it is a very cool controller.
Man.
Sega. So we talked a couple of weeks ago around Sega doing their old, it was a gold not old thing where they were talking about, trying to get the most out of their old franchises. And then a few years ago, they talked about rebooting all of their old, Golden Axe and Shinobi and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so as part of that also was the talk of the super game, which is something they've been talking about in financial calls for the last couple of years. We were never quite sure what the super game was, only that they just kind of referred to it that way. And turns out they just quietly said, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. The financial statement said they were not going to incur any more additional costs from the super game project because they've shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I read it was their version as a competitor to Fortnite.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was the kind of they've also indicated that they're moving away from live service games, so it sounds like that's exactly like they were looking for their Apex Legends.
So
because they haven't had a good run with what was the one that they cancelled?
Hyenas was the other one.
Hyenas,
yes. Was their sort of
that I mean, how many of these Sega franchises have made their way to Fortnite then? Are we just going to see them in Fortnite now? Now that they're like, no, let's not do Fortnite, and now they're like, yeah, let's do Fortnite. So
I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see. I mean, like Sega does have a good I think this highlights that Sega does have a pretty big list of IP that they could leverage.
Yeah.
But then also, like, does anyone care about their IP? I mean, if you think about like how many people really care about a Crazy Taxi game or a Golden Axe.
Golden Axe. Yeah.
1 and 3 apparently. For our audio listeners, Cameron was holding his hand up. None Kyo and I did not.
Tell me you're not excited for Jet Set Radio.
I'm excited by the idea of Jet Set Radio, but I have played Jet Set Radio on the 360, the port, and it sucks to play. I hate that game. Playing it, it is the most stylish, annoying game I've played ever.
So why not modernize it?
Yes, exactly. Modernizing it, I think, makes a perfect sense, but it depends. It really depends what they do, because I feel like they've been talking about this reboot thing for ages.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But they just, we haven't really. Again, we saw Shinobi, and apparently it was really good, like a really cool game. But we haven't seen Crazy Taxi. We haven't seen anything from Jet Set Radio. Like, I don't know.
See, a lot of Sega's stuff that they've done the last few years, though, I've really enjoyed. Like, I love... okay, I just saw them in someone's message. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what the series is called. The Management Sims. The Hospital Tycoon and that kind of stuff. And all that, I've really enjoyed.
Oh, like 2 points and... Yeah, sure.
2 point, yeah. I really enjoyed Sonic Frontiers, even though...
It sucks.
I really like the gameplay element of it. I understand that there's shortfallings, but I found it to be a very enjoyable game.
I think VGC said it was their favorite game that was shit. Which fair. You know what? Like I can understand. Like I finished it. Like I played it all the way through.
The love I have for it.
Yeah. But I think I don't think when was the last really successful Sega game that came out? If you think I'm trying to think
well, I think Yakuza is my go-to. For that.
Yeah, sure.
Sega technically owns them, right?
I guess there is. I guess there is maybe a difference between like IGG and like Atlas, and then Sega as well. Yeah.
Because I can tell you, my most anticipated game at the moment is Stranger Than Heaven.
Yeah, it looks really good. We talked about that last week. It looks fucking fantastic. Yeah, definitely go check
that is definitely going to be a day one purchase for me. But
what's coming to Game Pass, you won't need to purchase it.
Sorry, I keep forgetting that aspect of it.
I'm with you. Like IGG have been consistently putting out bangers for sure, and obviously so has Atlas. But in terms of like Sega as in general, like their other IP, I mean, like they talked about it. Well, they didn't name it, but they said that their last game did not do very well, which was the Sonic Crossworlds Racing,
which I've only ever heard praise about.
Apparently, well, so. I think the news story was that their critical ratings have basically not translated into increased sales. So, like, even though they're getting good reviews on their stuff, they're just not hitting it in terms of hitting those
Just rough
sales
going up
figures.
against Mario Kart.
Yeah, well, again, Mario Kart World with a new Switch packed in, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, like with Sonic Crossworlds, because they just did a quiet release of the Switch 2 version as well. So, like, and like, there's really not a whole lot, I guess, of talk about it. But I mean, it is a fantastic game, though, right? So,
I really wonder with Sonic now too, whether the movies are having a positive impact on the games.
Oh, sure. I mean, I think that that was part of that gold not old thing, was that they were saying they wanted to expand more of their franchises outside of games, right? They've seen the success of the Sonic movies and are like, okay, cool, what other IP can we turn into t-shirts and merchandise and other bits and pieces?
Sonic feels like it was the original blueprint. Now we've got Mario, the Minecrafts, and
yeah, sure. I mean, video game movies never went anywhere, but I know what you mean.
Video game movies never went anywhere, but there's obviously been a situation in the last decade where it's been more family friendly.
Sure.
More kid orientated, I would say. I'm really surprised Nikita hasn't dragged me to Mortal Kombat 2 yet.
Oh shit! I need to go watch that.
Completely forgot that came out.
Yeah, I'm really surprised it hasn't happened yet. Actually. Oh.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, obviously, I'm very excited for Creative Assembly's Alien Isolation 2 and all that kind of stuff. So they've still got stuff going on, but I just think that Sega are in a bit of a weird spot where they really need to. They basically need to pull a Capcom. You know, they need to like go back to their old franchises, have some banger reboots and re-releases of them, and just kind of they need to Resident Evil that shit and like get the most out of those franchises and like really put their best foot forward.
I'm really hoping they do well.
Yeah, but I also
like
think,
I like Crazy Taxi, so
I mean I enjoy Crazy Taxi, but I don't think like that's not the kind of thing that's going to sell millions of units, right?
No, it's a good. There's certain games you can pass to anybody, and they're very easy to pick up and understand.
Sure.
And gameplay loop like that is.
All right, and last story here. PS5 sales have drifted a little bit behind the PS4. I think the Switch 2 is in a similar position. Console sales tend to be slowing a little bit and kind of not keeping up with, again, some of the best performing consoles of all time. So again, this isn't like alarm bells ringing, but it definitely indicates a bit of a little bit of a cooling of the console market, and showing that while they've had strong starts, they've kind of been falling behind a little bit over the previous generation. And I think part of that is, the economy and tariffs and COVID and all kinds of things that cause this kind of stuff. But not a big surprise here. But I guess the interesting part here is, as part of Sony's financials, they were talking about how they're kind of undecided on the PS6's release date and price at this stage, which seems kind of crazy to me. I don't know. Like, do you guys have any? I definitely have some thoughts, but you guys, Keo, do you have any sort of initial thoughts on this?
I think it's understandable why they'd be so worried about it. Like, it's crazy that they do not have anything ready to go. Obviously, they can take into account costs and all that kind of stuff, but going into the market, they normally take a loss on these kind of things, right?
Well, they used to.
But, yes, and now they're like,
I don't think...
can we even take a loss at all? And then, like, the PS5 is now nearly $1,000. It's like 950 something or something. So, just for the base model. So it's just like, yeah. I mean, the last gen. I mean, the current gen, they actually didn't really announce prices until like the last second anyway.
They do, which is not super surprising, right? Like, pricing is always
so
a bit iffy, and they want to stay competitive, and that was always a big thing around, like, what's the price going to be between the two consoles? And but they also haven't officially shown off anything about those consoles either. And the rumors were, like, next consoles could be as, like, early as, like, holiday next year originally, was, like, 2027.
Yeah.
But...
And, like, we're seeing... upcoming announcement stuff of Project Helix at some point, and we're also seeing PlayStation rumors of them going hard on AI.
And they're doing something with a handheld maybe as well?
like a PS Portal Pro, I
Something like
believe.
that, maybe, or like a
Yeah,
PS5
so
portable or something. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and that PlayStation Portal is one of the best things that they've released, but they just not have any guts. And you
Yeah.
can't do what you can do in Australia, what you can do in US, which is use your cloud games.
Yeah.
So there's a whole market that could open up with that stuff, right? So and interconnecting everything and all that shit. So, but PlayStation have a lot that they could do, but the PlayStation 6 is we just have to see. We're just gonna have to wait. So
Yeah, I mean, Cameron, is this a situation where they're basically just trying to keep their powder dry until Xbox makes their move, and then they counter it with whatever they basically, I don't know, because there was always a bit of that with like the Series S and X and the PlayStation 5 being like, who's releasing first, what's it going to cost, like what's the strategy, and they were like, it was what they kept it like really really close to the chest until basically right up until launch.
I don't think it's even competing against like other times in the industry now. I think it's more so just responding to market conditions.
Sure,
for a lot of this stuff. Because all the conversations just stem around the affordability of the components now. And like personally as a consumer, I'm not as excited for the next generation. We haven't seen anything to justify another generation out of this generation yet. I know you especially feel that way when it comes to gaming. There hasn't been anything that's really utilized the technology. The only thing that was really a bit of a game changer for me for Series X was quick resume.
Yeah,
which I know people have issues with.
But the idea is solid. Yeah.
The idea is solid. The execution may not be as well.
Well, and also I think the only idea that's really taken off during the generation is it opening up to like cross-platform, like actual gameplay.
Yeah, cross-play and play anywhere, and that kind of stuff definitely has.
Yeah, so I think that's the only thing that's actually made like proper movements, I think. So,
I just wonder. I really wonder like how we're going to go, because if prices and that continue to go up, them releasing a new platform and them releasing a new generation, that's not really going to change much.
No,
I do think next generation is going to have to be a case of you're going to have to sacrifice power, and appeal to that more, like how the Series S did, right? They're going to have to appeal to a not cheaper, but a more accessible market.
Yeah, and I'm wondering again, like Moonzom in the chat says, another recession indicator for everyone to ignore. Yeah, 100%. I think there's definitely a little bit of that, right? And there've been a lot of rumors around this, like PlayStation handheld, and maybe it's like they bring out the handheld first, because I think PlayStation's in a little bit of a different position in terms of like they released the Pro a few years ago, and that's still a fantastic console. They just released, was it PSSR, like their whole like thing to like upscale games. Like Xbox hasn't had they didn't do a mid-generation refresh this time. And so there might, in terms of like power, there might be, they're probably lacking a little bit, or that there's more opportunity there. But even then, to your point, Cameron, with the cost of components, I saw an article yesterday that was like consoles are basically going to price themselves out of relevance. And I'm like, yeah, like sure, but like what's the alternative? Because it's not like they're I mean, yeah, exactly, right?
Like it's PC. Like it's a case of, well, why would I go out and buy a new console generation when I can upgrade my existing PC? Like you're going to have those consumers that come in. I'm really worried with PlayStation when it comes to this kind of stuff with how Marathon did in that. Like they need to make more calculated. Like there have been successful games this generation, but I can far outnumber them. I can far outthink things that PlayStation has missed the mark on.
Sure.
That have led to losses.
And a lot of that's been that live service pivot and all that kind of stuff. And which they're moving away from.
So hardware-wise, though, a misstep was people still keep coming in and asking for the PlayStation Portal, thinking it can play like a normal PSP. But you need to be connected to a home console. But a hit that they had was reintroducing the slim PlayStation with a attachable disk drive.
Sure. Yeah.
So, like, there are some hits and misses with their hardware, but they don't have their story
slim or
straight.
digital?
So
They're digital.
that's the thing. It's a slim console. There's a slim digital is the base model, but you can buy the slim digital with the disk drive, or you can add it separately. So it's like an attachable piece, and I think that was a huge decision. I think it's a great decision.
Yeah.
Like if you can just do that, have a digital console, and then upgrade, that's amazing.
I haven't bought physical media in a while now, only because of location accessibility. But I mean, if I still had access to cheap gaming and all that, a disk drive always makes sense to me.
Yeah. Like, it's a bit of a miss at the moment, but if they had like a PS Portal Pro where they did the same thing where you can have it as just a controller or upgrade to make it portable somehow, like that, because it doesn't have any internal memory, right? So do they only have to add a hard drive
I mean,
to that to make it work?
yeah, like again, like you own the ROG, you know, like it's the thing where I think handheld gaming is kind of a growing market, and PlayStation being like, well, if we want to do something in that, it's something in that vein, while also waiting for component prices to come down, so we don't have to put the most expensive AMD chips of all time into our, you know, PlayStation 6. I don't know.
Man, I just had ROG right then. I was just like, "Fuck it!" I haven't played this thing in a good 6 months to a year.
Yeah, that's also what I'm worried about, is that like obviously there's a use case for that, but that is a capped market, you know. I don't think they're going to sell that many of them.
Yeah, I'm on that damn thing every day still. So
sure, yeah, exactly. I just like is this an indicator that this next generation is probably going to get delayed? I mean, people have talked about how some people on one side are like, well, you can't really delay the generation because at some stage you have to tell devs and publishers what the new specs are going to be so they can build new games for your launch, right? And then if you go, oh, hey, thanks for building that game. Also, we've delayed the console by a year because the components are too expensive. That means they're going to be like, well, fuck, what am I going to do? But then also, I'm sure most of these games are going to be cross-generational. So maybe they make a PS6 version, maybe they make a PS5 version.
Yeah. You're going to have those games like GTA 6 that will lead to console sales and that kind of stuff. But are you going to... I don't know. I'm just in such a position now where I'm just like, I have not seen enough out of this generation to justify a new generation having higher specs.
Agreed. Agreed. And I think most people are feeling that way.
With the cost of components and all that, the smart play, as much as devs didn't like the fact of the catering to the Xbox Series X and the S, I do think that is the smart play for Xbox. For all of them, is to just
have a lower end model to start with.
Switch 2 has raised their prices by what, $70 in Australia, I think, or will be.
Well, there will be in September, yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't yet.
Like they're all adjusting to cater to these to these costs in the market, which is I just think, like, how can you justify paying for a $1,000 console?
Yeah, exactly.
In this economy where people are struggling and cost of living is getting higher, and the war obviously having an effect on fuel prices, which leads into everything else.
Yeah, it feels like, you know, COVID was not a great time to launch a console, but that came out of nowhere. Whereas, like, for releasing a console next year, or even, like, I don't know, like, it just feels like an unforced
realistically,
error.
At COVID, though, COVID didn't hit us until, what, March of 2020?
Yeah, basically.
All the processes already in place to start that production pipeline and everything would have...
again, a lot of that happened earlier on. Yeah. It was after that initial launch that it really got hit by, like, game development and then also factories and everything.
The software aspect of it, yeah. I mean, if we're talking from a hardware perspective in that, though, it kind of feels like that aspect of it has been completely flipped, whereas in hardware development and all that was fine in early 2020, whereas and software was the issue leading in, and we had those delays. Whereas in this time around, it feels like it's going to be the exact opposite effect. Yeah. But I think devs understand. I think there's a case in point where you can just fix that through not striving for a game that's going to run like a mammoth.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like software development can be pursued in such a way that
you can stretch
make smaller games.
Yeah, you can stretch it, you can shrink it, where it's like, but like hardware is pretty fixed in terms of like you have to plan it well ahead for hardware. I just think that like if the rumors were true, like there was a rumor that the next Xbox would be like ready to go, ready to ship end of next year, and I just don't feel like I feel like that's just an unforced error, especially if PlayStation haven't even thought about when they're going to release and what their prices are going to be. If we're talking about like internal financials here, because people are asking about it, of course, around like, well, what's happening with the next PlayStation? Because they know they're making it. They've said they're doing it. We haven't seen anything. We haven't heard anything. I don't know. It's
It makes me think of the Xbox side too. Going back to the cloud controllers, like what's the play? Is it just getting more, getting more players in on a lower tier, having stuff like the starter stuff and that as well?
Maybe, yeah. Trying to grow that PC audience.
Yeah, I was going to say if you can't tackle it on the higher end because of cost of living and all that, then you're going to tackle it at a more accessible price point.
Yeah, which means you won't be converting hardcores. You'll be trying to grow the market, which I think is
you're going full pro consumer at that point. So
yeah. So I guess we'll see. It just really feels like the games aren't there. The tech is too expensive. Why would you want to release a new console in this environment? But I guess the other question is, can they afford to wait? And how long can they afford to wait? Because because devs are going to have to make games for these things at some stage. But I don't know. We're kind of in that cross-generational weirdness period where PlayStation says they believe in generations, but they released PS4 and Xbox One games last week. So who the fuck knows?
But then there's like other stuff too of like, well, if Xbox pulls back the exclusivity and all that, I guess the discussion in the community as well. If Asher goes, all right, well, we're just going to bring Xbox back to Xbox. A lot of PlayStation's profits and all that would have been from Xbox games heading over there as well.
I mean, recently, yeah. But I mean, obviously, PlayStation have their own stuff. It's just that they're taking a lot. Well, outside of Insomniac. I mean, they still have Wolverine releasing this year. It's not like they've got nothing. But I know what you mean.
I'm not saying they had nothing, but I'm just saying that is a large piece of the picture as well.
Sure. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on. Game Pass updates. Cameron, do you want to read through those?
Yes. So, in terms of Game Pass, we had Outbound Join, Black Jacket, Call of the Elder Gods, Elite Dangerous, Doom the Dark Ages, and Subnautica 2. Some of those just, reissues in different price points. I'm currently playing through Forza Horizon 6 with the early access, but it officially launches on May 19th.
Which I'm looking forward to having a look at.
I have access to that early access as well, so I'm going to load up this afternoon. So.
Nice. And we don't know what's leaving yet because we're recording this on the 17th and they haven't announced it yet, but hopefully we know soon. So I know what I'm going to be working on for the next week.
Probably be around Tuesday.
Yeah. We also have the Patreon, patreon.com/HoloGamers. A huge thank you to Old Mate Clown, Cavalier07, Hack and Pone, Kung Fu Skills, Happy Moogles, Admiral Awesome, Natolinator, Lee Howard, Left for Legacy, and Venoms AU. We literally couldn't afford to do the show without you guys, so we always greatly appreciate all the support. I know we haven't really done any content for the podcast, the Patreons recently. We've been very, very busy, unfortunately. But we do have a couple of ideas kicking around, so let us know your thoughts.
Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Well, we still got to do the last episode of Fallout first.
Rough cough.
But, monthly theme.
Oh, yeah, we have. Yeah. Damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. Keo.
Okay.
So we have the Bimestral Burden, which is our 2-month. Every 2 months we change the theme, and you play games that we have. Well, we could just say maybe don't either do or don't stick to the style that we choose. But May or June is one and done. Play games that are completely standalone, no sequels, prequels, sequels to prequels, or prequels to sequels, or spin-offs. So yeah. So basically anything that's standalone, nothing at all. Like there's just one game, and then the dev died or something, and then you're left with just
the studio shut down. So. They ran out of money.
Exactly.
They sold 10 copies.
By dev dying, I meant studio shut down. But once again, brain aneurysm Sunday for me. So Yeah, there you go. So
All right. Well, let's get into what we've been playing. Oh, yeah. Just on that, you can chuck your game theme, monthly theme games in the Discord channel. Go check it out. We want to see what you've been
yeah,
playing. But to what we've been playing, I'll start quickly. I finished up Hell Is Us, which I talked a bit about last week. Yeah, really enjoyed it. I think the story is it's just kind of okay. It's fine. Like it's serviceable. The gameplay was really fun. I think I have the same complaints though. Completely finishing it, like the enemy variety is terrible. Like there's like basically two types of enemies with slight variations. They don't really do anything differently outside of a couple of different attacks. There's no like leveling system for your character. It's only for weapons, which I feel like it's okay. But I was kind of, I don't know, like there isn't really a lot of build craft outside of crafting your own weapons and kind of putting different attributes on them. I didn't see huge differences in those weapons. And those, I don't know, like I think it was good. Like again, I don't want to be down on it. I think it was a really fun sort of Souls-like game that kind of harks back to those original Souls games, like Dark Souls, where you don't have a map, you don't get a lot of explanation, but you kind of got to just figure things out as you go along. But I overall enjoyed it. I definitely the one of the biggest problems I had was the last achievement is for so the game has these time loops, and the time loops are what allow the enemies to respawn. So every time you leave the map and come back, they've been returned. You can eventually learn to close those time loops, which means that when you kill the enemies, they don't respawn. But there is an achievement for killing every enemy in the game permanently, which means you need to go around and make sure you remember where all the enemies are and try and find them. Each map will tell you if there's enemies still on it, so there's at least that, but they won't tell you where they are. So you need to comb all of these levels, try and find, the ones on the ground that are playing dead, or ones that are hiding in the swamp, or whatever. There was a couple that just fucking drove me insane. So I'd spend a good 3 hours just combing through the maps and just clearing them out, which was really just not needed.
A bit of real world
yes,
flashback.
Exactly. Yeah. That kind of thing where it's not super helpful, and you just kind of ticking things off a list. And there was it's really annoying because there is, when you're trying to shut down these time loops, there are certain enemies you need to kill to get access to them, to shut them down. And so you have an item that shows you, points you in the direction of where those enemies are, in a more esoteric way. They could have easily just reprogrammed that to just point you towards the remaining enemies in the area, and the problem would be completely solved. It's one of those things that just really could have just been solved, unfortunately. But I quite enjoyed it. I get the feeling that they'd like to make a sequel to it. It ends on a little bit of a sequel hook, post-credit scene. It's got a lot of lore and a lot of reading. And it's kind of, your investment level is based on how much you really want to get into it. You can talk to various characters, and they have a bunch of optional things you can ask them about and learn things about. But I think it's a really cool, as a double A game. The polish is quite high, and I had a good time with it for sure. Too many collectibles though, way too many collectibles. Kia, what's something you've been playing?
Yeah, so I've been combing through just a couple of games that I've had lying around that were gifted over the years, stuff like that. So, and they're kind of little standalone kind of games and stuff like that. There's only a couple that I'll mention, but one is called Don't Be Afraid, and it's basically just a trashy first-person horror game. Mm-hmm. But you play, it's a bit of a Saw situation where you kind of put in a scenario where you have to solve puzzles to escape a room or something. It's just like an escape room horror thing. But you play as a child, and apparently it's not the first time that Franklin has captured a child before. But it was a very short game. It only took me a few hours to go through, but you have to do several playthroughs of it because it has one of those weird conditional things where there's a point in the game where it splits off and you can get one of 3 different endings, but then each of those endings have a slight variant tied to an achievement. So it was kind of an annoying, I can load the save for this section, but I can't, and then I can go and redo this, but I can't load it for this. I have to play through the game from start to finish, 20-25 minutes of just running through the game. Very, very short. To either give a ghost a teddy bear or not give a ghost a teddy bear in a certain spot, or lock the bad guy in the freezer or whatever. But it's funny though. some of these games just should not be made because you play as a child, and the bad guy at one point specifically says, "I will let you touch my spear," and I'm just like, "Come on, guys!" Like,
Thanks for getting us cancelled, buddy.
Yeah, demonetized.
yeah. There you go. Right. So I'm just like, oh my god, you know, these games, they should really consider the jokes that they put in some of these games. And basically, the main bad guy has like basically sounds like the Joker from the Arkham series. So it has a very much maniacal tone to him and stuff like that. But and like that particular scenario was just them hinting at like there's a spear on the wall and you had to turn the spear to open a secret door to access the next part of the level. But yeah, so
it sounds like trash, I gotta say. Yeah, it sounds bad.
It was a bit cringy. But yeah, that's one down for me. So
Cameron, what about
Cameron,
you?
what do you got?
Let's talk about mixtape.
Sure, let's talk about mixtape. I'm down to talk about mixtape.
Yeah, we've all been playing that, so yeah.
So I probably missed the discussion last week when Matt played it, but so a lot of the discourse and on Twitter and that has been about how this is not a game, that IGN gave it a 10 out of 10, etc.
Mhm.
I personally leave it as it's good. It is not great. I do not understand how this game was given, a 10 out of 10.
I think 10 is crazy. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
10 is a crazy. But this is a good game. This is like one of those games that I like gaming to give us good experiences. Personally, I think a lot of the soundtrack is probably before my time.
Sure. I mean, a lot of it is older stuff for sure. Like even older than us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Not saying that it's bad. I definitely like the main character appeal and the awkwardness of just breaking the fourth wall. And this is the song that's playing now. I like that aspect of it.
Yeah.
But outside of that, there's just so much. Like the narrative is so easy to pull out of.
Yeah.
Like,
So
it feels too long, at like 3 hours long. Is my issue with it.
Okay.
Whereas then I'm trying to explore some of the narrative stuff, and I'm just like, I understand what they're going for, but it isn't acted in such a way that it draws me in. That is believable, I should say.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll how much spoilers you gave.
No, very little. I tried
nothing really.
Again,
I started playing the game and I knew very little from what Matt said going in, but I'm at the point where it seems like the focus is on another character, and it's almost like that character was supposed to be the focus of the story, but they're like it doesn't come so much into the light that like earlier on that it's still just about the main character. So I think if they pushed a little bit heavier earlier on, even like within the first hour, right, towards that other character, then maybe it could have been like a different perspective. But it's having a look at it, it's almost like it shouldn't have been called Nothing But the Hits. It should have been called Memories of Misdemeanors or something. It's just like everyone did something stupid when they were a kid, and there's something in here that you probably did that you'll relate to. So
sure, yeah, it's anachronistic, right? Like I think that.
Oh, that's like a bit.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm caught up. I think that.
There you go.
Cool. I think it's important to note that like this, it's an anachronistic game, right? It is a surreal, like the way it was described is like a fairy tale. Like it's. I get a lot of people like, oh, it's not realistic to the 90s, and I'm like, it's not about that, right? Like it's a game about nostalgia. I think that, sure,
It feels like it wants to sit in both camps, though.
Sure, that's
of
fair.
Being like realistic, but like fairy tale-ish.
Sure, but I think like most of the game is told in flashbacks, right? And those like again, like my one of my favorite moments is early on, the whole like escaping from the cops thing, right? And like it just gets so insane so quickly that I was laughing the entire time. Where like it starts with you in. Like it just starts with you like, well, okay, we have to get away from the cops from this party, so we're gonna jump in this we're gonna jump in this shopping trolley and just go down the hill, and then suddenly it turns into like a whole cop chase with a helicopter, and like it's so, and then at the end of it, he's like, yeah, that's kind of how I remember it, but like whatever. And like I think like that's the perfect encapsulation of what this game is, where it's like, yeah, there are some realistic moments, but a lot of it is like larger than life. Like it is nostalgia, but it also acknowledges that it's nostalgia, but it's nostalgia for a bunch of things, where it's nostalgia for a feeling of being a certain age, not necessarily
it's like the rose tinted nostalgia, right?
100%, right? And I think there's something to it around like, like she's like, okay, I have this big plan, and like I have all this music, and like, look, I don't know every single song on that soundtrack, right? A lot of those are deep cuts. Like, she's a fucking hipster. Like that's the whole thing, is that like she's playing songs that you like. I mean, like I know Devo, and like there's like 5 or 6 songs on that like 25 song soundtrack that are like in my personal playlist. Like I love Devo, and I love Roxy Music, and you know, all that kind of stuff. But
you're a hipster, we get it.
Oh, yeah, sure, but like I you know, I have a slightly eclectic music taste, sure, but I think that
I was gonna say my issue though is like, okay, you take yourself back for a second. You think these events are all over a single night. I feel like they're trying to kind of force some character development in there, which does not make sense in a realistic capacity. Right?
I think it's why the flashbacks kind of work, because it lets them go beyond just that. But I get what you mean.
The flashbacks work. The flashbacks are the most enjoyable aspect of the game. Personally, I don't like the hit run and the home runs and all that kind of stuff. That minigame is shit.
Oh yeah, the minigames are a fucking pain. Well, to be fair, if you didn't have to get the achievement, I wouldn't have cared. But yeah.
But the main story falls apart for me. The nostalgia and all that, the looking back at flashbacks is great, but then in comparison to the actual story, it just doesn't really feel like it makes sense. Like, if this was a game that was based over a summer, and that the character development aspects and all that would make more sense. But you got to think, like, this is all the events of one day, and so much of it just feels like it's crammed in.
Yeah, but I think my point is that, and like I think like what you're talking about is essentially like Bloom and Rage, right? Like Lost Records. Lost Records is that game where it's like a group of people who meet each other and develop a relationship over the course of a summer. Whereas like if you think about what actually happens in this game, and I'll try to keep spoilers very, very light, is you're in one room, you're one person's room, and then you decide, hey, we need to find alcohol. So we're going to go on a bit of a journey to another place where we're going to figure out where to get this. Then we're going to go to another person's room, and then we're going to go to another person's room, and then we're going to go to a party. And like the actual events of that game are basically just spending a morning to an afternoon to an evening just hanging out with your friends and wandering around. All of the rest of that game is flashbacks by things that are triggered in that, you know, like so much. It's like the baseball thing is a flashback, or the softball thing is a flashback. Yeah. The cart is a flashback. The going to get food is a flashback. Like all of it are flashbacks in terms of like understanding who these characters are. But I agree with you that they try to have their cake and eat it too, where it's like, well, we want to tell a story over a certain period of time, but we're going to cheat and basically go, here's all their history, here's all the things that make them relate to each other.
Like, I'm trying to think what the game's name is right now. The like choose your own adventure kind of thing, where it is set over one day, but they get held up at the like stop motion kind of, blanking on the name.
Like Harold Halibut?
It was a Game Pass title. Huh?
Harold Halibut?
The Harold Halibut?
No, it wasn't. It was.
Oh yes.
Oh my god! Why am I blinking?
Yeah, I know the one. The narrative one. Yeah.
Yeah, like a story based like that feels like it is in a single day. The traumatic experience kind of leads to character development and makes sense. In this story, it just feels like it completely falls over.
But I think we had the same complaint for that game too when it got to like the modern day stuff, and it was like, oh, it's all a flashback, and then it just kind of ended, and it was like they kind of tried to have the development, but also did.
But a lot of that game was like set in the they didn't execute the ending well. I will agree with that. I'm trying so hard to think of the name right now.
Yeah, I know the one.
Whereas in this, it is just the start to finish, and then the flashbacks in between.
thing Dusk. It's like Dusk.
As Dusk Falls.
As Dusk Falls. Yes, that's the one.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that, the story felt like that. That's the closest thing I can think of when I'm thinking of mixtape.
Sure.
In terms of a.
But again, that was very non-stylized, right? That was a very more traditional story. Yeah. Whereas like this is more surreal and like nostalgic and I don't know. Like I really enjoyed mixtape. Like it's like a 7 or 8 for me for sure. I think that the narrative is probably the weakest point, and I think the mini games are kind of like they're pointless. But I think it's kind of the idea is that it's just you kind of just killing time and just kind of just doing fun things. I mean, like I compared it last week to the Artful Escape of being something that just kind of like the gameplay is the weakest part of that game as well. The rest of it is the spectacle and the kind of like the love.
But the spectacle and the love of that game like makes so much more sense to me. In the Artful Escape as compared to mixtape.
That's fair. I can understand why. I get that.
Like to me, like this would have been a much better experience if it was just a teenager in her room listening through music and corresponding those songs to that particular event and telling a story.
That essentially is what this game is, right? Like that's what I was saying. Is that like the actual bones of what this game is in terms of the modern day stuff is basically just going from set piece to set piece, like areas to trigger off memories.
Yeah.
Outside of the very end of the game. I'm just
saying the main story aspect of this though is the weakest part.
Agreed.
Of it,
I would agree.
In my opinion,
I would agree.
It would have just been better to tell a story through those set pieces, through flashbacks.
Sure.
It would have been a lot easier for me to believe.
I get it. I get what you mean.
And I just really am surprised with the critic versus the audience appeal of this game.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, like I was, saying with the, like I was saying, like how it seems like it starts to revolve around the other character. Like there is a conflict in the middle of the game, but it's not related to the main character. Yeah. You know, so.
Which character are you talking about here?
I don't remember her name. It's the girl,
Cassandra,
the friend, Cassandra. Yeah. So where basically, you know, it's her dad and all that.
Sure.
Kind of stuff, not letting to, you know, and getting in the way, and you know the party stuff. And I know where the game ends because I've been spoiled, but so I'm kind of like, okay, seems like it relates to that a little bit, but I'm not quite there yet. Yeah. So, but
yeah, like I'm trying to think of the best way to put this, but I think that the critical reception, I think, is basically been massively overblown, right? Like, most critics are saying they enjoyed this game. Obviously, IGN gave it its 10 out of 10, which is kind of crazy to me, but that's fine. They obviously resonated with them. I mean, like, Skill Up gave it a recommend, not a strongly recommend. Most people are like, yeah, it's like an 8 out of 10. It's like, if you look at it, it's like on Steam, it's widely praised as being great. People are really, really enjoying it. I think it's just this vocal people who just... And, like, look, people can have their opinions, right? But it just feels like people are trotting out the same engagement baiting talking points to go, oh, this game's barely a game. How dare this show up for the Game Awards? Or how dare this get a 10 out of 10? And I was like, bro, this like Annapurna has been putting out cinematic games for years. Like this shouldn't be a surprise. Like no one complained. Yeah, I don't know. Just
it's one step from their movie studio stuff, right?
Exactly.
So
they're a Hollywood studio. Exactly. Funded by fucking you know, Larry Ellison's daughter. Like it's anyway. People are talking about like industry plants and conspiracy theory shit. I'm like, bro, you need to calm down. This is not worth. This game is not the one that you want to. It's not the hill to die on.
Yeah, if you took this and actually made it into a movie and chopped it down to an hour and a half of the narrative, it would work perfectly well.
It'd be fine. I think it would definitely lose something, but I think it would definitely have. For sure.
Yeah.
I just the amount of vitriol that's come out about this is just crazy to me.
Yeah, there's definitely some crazy takes out there. Yeah. But it was funded by tax money. Oh no! Oh fuck! I didn't even think of the screen aspect of it.
Yeah. Oh no! But yeah, the main character has like a Ferris Bueller kind of talk to the screen kind of like...
like one of the final scenes is basically almost ripped directly from Ferris Bueller trying to get back before he gets caught. Yeah, like it's almost that scene. Like it's
inspiration.
So, 100%. Like it wears inspiration on its sleeve for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, another one that I played was Relooted, which is one that came to Game Pass a few months back, which is the you're basically planning heists to try and steal African relics that have been hidden by the museums, and basically not to try to return them, like basically like Indiana Jones that shit back to their actual countries. In practice, it's a sort of side-scrolling platformer with like puzzle platformer where you kind of need to like get around security measures and like set up your route for like, okay, cool, I found where the thing is, but I need to plan my route out to get past all these security measures, and you get help from like various people who have different abilities. It's like a fun idea. It's a bit janky, and I think the story is pretty thin. But it's an okay game. Like it's like a 6 to 8 hour game. Like you'll smash through it. You just need to make sure you get all the optional stuff and get gold on all the missions. But you can play it on story difficulty. Yeah, it was fine. I know it got like a lot of controversy because it was like, oh no, people of color who are making video games about people of color. Oh my god! But like, I again, it's another one of those things where I was like, there's no controversy here. It's just it's fine. I don't think it's too much to say, but I basically play. It's got like a 4.0 ratio, which is super high for a game like this. Like this is a really, really straightforward game. You finish it in no time. I recommend people give it a go if you like those kind of like puzzle platformers.
Yeah.
Kia, what about you?
Another little one that I've been playing through at the moment that I am kind of enjoying. It's called The End Is Null, if I may say so. And it's another little game that's got like 107 people that have played it, and 7 have completed it on TA and that kind of stuff. But it's got a really tongue-in-cheek humor, but it's like a pixelated point-and-click adventure with puzzle stuff that has trippy scenes that have like 3D elements to them and all that kind of stuff as well. But then the puzzles are really basic. But then they have you do like temple run kind of shit as well, where you've got to go through specific doorways. And so it's like WarioWare, the point-and-click adventure, basically.
Okay. Interesting.
Where the puzzles are so random and the story, like they say shit and fuck and like all this kind of stuff, and it's basically like it knows what it is and it's trying to be funny, and for the most part the jokes are funny, and even like the character animations and all that kind of stuff for just still animations have that very Sierra 2D point and click adventure to it, but everything's blown up and really big on the screen that the scenes fill the screen a lot of the time. So then when stuff happens, it looks really kinetic. But it's a very strange one because the puzzles are just so eclectic and just kind of just all over the place, where it's just telling this story about gods basically, and gods that have been banished here, and they've done this, and then you're playing as 3 different characters. It seems like they're all in different elements, or I don't know if it's time periods or whatever, because it goes over like different time periods, but it seems like all the characters are still connected. But it's a very short game as well, but each character has their own set of mini games. It's really hard to explain, but it's actually really fun. A little bit challenging too, because even with the temple run stuff, there's conditions to actually pass that. And you've got like a thing in front of you, like a totem dude in the air, and then you've got 2 totem dudes, and they need to be like not smiling for you to know if you're going through the right door or not, because there's 3 doorways and you're running, you got to go through the right one. But when they introduce 2, you've got to have them both not smiling, but there's like a half smile, and then you don't know if you're going through the right door or not. And I'm actually stuck there because I have to look up what the fuck I have to do, but so few people have played the game that there are no guides for them on TA and this and that, and I'm just like, I need to look at how to solve that before I can move on. But the achievements for it are basically do that puzzle without dying, which is, and do like all this person's, there's like 4 achievements for that person, all their main puzzles, don't do them don't die on any of them, and then there's like do a run without dying. So I really need to nail these things down to actually work it out. But I think this is the first puzzle that's had an achievement tied to it, and the rest of them are after. So I haven't even gotten there yet.
Still early.
So, and like I've played it for a couple of hours already. I mean, 3 hours before I even got to these sets of puzzles, right? So, so yeah. But the the point and click stuff is like the Sierra cheeky fun and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, yeah. But I don't think I'm gonna have much more to say about it. But it's worth at least looking up a video on YouTube or something if you can, just to see what it is, because it's kind of fun. So yeah.
Cameron?
Yeah.
I'll quickly just mention the last two. Sworn, going back through that, just trying to get the Rook. I think we've got 3 runs to do, and I've got Bus Rush and 7 more boons. Other than that, I've been playing Forza Horizon 6 because somebody tipped me $100, and I used that immediately to buy the upgrade the other night.
All right.
Yeah.
I was like, I was going to put that money to good use. Realistically, there's not much I can really say about Forza Horizon 6. It is the exact same game as 5 for the most bit. There are some quality of life features that I can't remember being in 5, where you can just select an area and auto drive to. A lot of the content completeness of like 4 and 5 is like it's just in this game from the very start.
Great.
Yeah, there's a Gundam in it that you race against.
Hell yes.
That's probably like one of the coolest set pieces in this game. One of the only non-destructible environments is cherry blossoms because of the importance to Japanese culture.
Right.
Just a really nice curated map as well. Like I haven't had any issues in particular with any of the racing. I know Corey immediately folded and bought it as himself as well as the upgrade. He's been enjoying keeping ahead of me in terms of destructible items.
Yeah.
But I've just been taking nice and easy.
I wasn't going to, but I've got 2 Forza heads at work, and they've just been banging on about it.
Bro, it's
just
2 days. Just wait. It'll be 2 days, and it's on Game Pass.
That's not what justified it to me, actually. I don't care about the early access. It's just now I have all of the content. The premium upgrade included the expansion passes. Now I don't have to think about it.
Sure, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So
I'm just like
pay for it.
because the last 2 games have just been like, fuck, I'll wait till it's on sale, and I'll wait till this pack's on sale, and now I'm like, now I'll just have all the content. I know it's coming. I will just get it, and then I'll be fine. Game Pass is not going anywhere. The game's not going anywhere, so I'll just do it. So
it still hasn't been completed yet.
There's some seasonal stuff in there, right?
There's seasonal stuff, and there's earn 100 levels in Horizon Play. So there is earn a series history reward, which I need to look into, and earn 100 levels in Horizon Play, which will be a lot of multiplayer sessions. And
the Horizon 5 had that thing where it was easier to get a couple of achievements before the release date if you played it early. So because then the season started and it defaulted everything. So I'm like, is there an achievement in there that we can get that will be a pain in the ass afterwards? Because they haven't started the season yet, have they?
The list looks surprisingly reasonable when I looked at it.
Yeah. Is it a pre-season or is it a season?
So I haven't looked into.
I think they've started the season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me try and find it. Earn all festival playlist points for a season.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and there was a couple of things where the pre-season was basically the last part of a season before the game came out, because it was like a pre-thing for the people that played it early, and then they rolled into the main season and you had to do the whole thing or something.
I can't think if there's like anything new in this game though that I could like. I just think the environment is better than 5. I really didn't care about Mexico's environment, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
4 was a great game, but I really didn't care about the seasons aspect, like the actual seasonal weather.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was a season thing where there were only cactuses available in summer or whatever, and then it changed to winter or something on its release. And then you couldn't get that for like 2 months or something.
It was like a couple of weeks, yeah. Like the seasons were weekly, so it was like, go through the 4 seasons in a month.
Yeah. Prose perfectly captures car culture, jaw-droppingly or gorgeous. A lot of things to do, banger soundtrack, and different. This is the thing, like if I get bored with the stories, I just drive around destroying some of the...
I've heard closely resembles Forza Horizon 1, like going back to the...
Yeah. I was going to say, and the one thing I should talk about too is the campaign is set up like an actual campaign. So each time you finish a race or you finish, you got time trials, you've got races, you've got stories aspect, that's all implemented into the campaign. Right. So you'll finish one of those events. It will give you a screen of 4 things to do. First one will be like what the game recommends that you do. The second thing will be, it might be you've just done a story. It's giving you the next iteration of that. Third one might be an event close by or a qualifier. And then I think the fourth one is restarting the previous event. But that system hasn't been in the previous games, and it's pretty easy to navigate. Yeah. The properties, I don't think you could store cars in previous games from memory.
No, I don't think
and
so.
They've taken. Man, I'm trying to think of the differences between the games.
Yeah, I think you could
travel's
just
not
hop to
as
any.
well.
You had to go to a home base to change your car, but it's not specific.
You could change it
cars in
anywhere, but it would
specific
sometimes
places.
teleport you back to the house.
But yeah.
And I don't think fast travel is an aspect in this game. I think it is just setting it to auto drive and then just.
That would be weird. I'm sure they must have fast travel in there somewhere.
I need to have a look at like the main sites of the houses and that, seeing if you can fast travel to it. But a lot of the map, realistically, I've only probably put 10 hours in at most. A lot of the map, I'll just click at a point and I'll just get it to auto drive and I'll check my phone whilst I wait. Sure. Or I'll go and do something I need to do.
I'm definitely going to give this a go. I mean, like I enjoyed Forza Horizon 5 a lot more than I thought I would. And so I definitely will play this, but maybe not right away. Wait for them to work out some of the bugs.
I mean, no Eliminator achievements.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm and like I know they'll add title updates and other bullshit, and like I'm ready to deal with that for the next 10 years. But
all of that stuff is coming. So
the only, I guess, negative that I can think for you is just doing 100 levels of the
online stuff.
The play.
Yeah, but that's fine. I mean, again, like you usually at least get something even if you don't win. This is a long tail game. It's going to be on Game Pass forever, so I'm not in a huge rush. But it looks really good. All right.
Yeah.
I'll quickly talk about my last two. As part of the unstarted backlog game thing that I'm doing, I started playing Vostok Inc., which, if you don't know, is a twin-stick shooter set in space that is also combined with a clicker. So the idea is that you are a little ship going around in space, landing on planets, and then the planets turn into a clicker thing where you need to build like things that generate money for you. So you start with something that generates like $5 a second, all the way up to several quadrillion. It's very addictive. It is like I found my brain going, I should keep playing a bit more of this. I was like, I could if I do this, like, that's a lot of moolah I'm bringing in. Like I could go and mine some asteroids for a little bit while my planets keep bringing in all this money, and then I could build more things to build money, and then I could build more things to build money, and then I could go to another galaxy, fight slightly different types of enemies. The game itself is very, very simple. Like you have different types of weapons, you buy upgrades. Like it's a pretty standard twin stick shooter. It's enjoyable, but not that much else to it. Like it is mostly a clicker with some other stuff tacked on. The only really tricky part is that you collect executives. It's all like capitalism themed, so you're collecting executives and middle managers and that sort of stuff. I like the styling quite a bit, but each executive has a little Tamagotchi that has like a little mini game that you need to play. And so there's like 12 executives. There's an achievement tied to 6 of their mini games, and most of them are relatively easy. One of them is like a little zombie thing where you got to shoot at 50 zombies without dying. One of them is like a little side-scrolling shooter that you need to get 100 points on. One of them's like Snake, but one of them is that fucking lumberjack game where you need to like go to one side, hit the side of the thing that has a branch, and then it drops the tree down. You need to make sure you like keep switching between the sides without getting hit by the tree. You need to get 222 points in that game. You're on a timer. I spent like 30 minutes straight, just my fingers bleeding doing this fucking thing. I got it, and I'm basically done with the game. I have one achievement left. But the mini games are definitely the most annoying part of that, and I was a bit worried that I wasn't going to be able to finish it because it also has an uneven gamer score achievement. So I get like there's like a 1 gamer score achievement for finishing all the other achievements. So I need to make sure I finish the game. But the last achievement I have is to I got one achievement today, which was earn I think it's like earn $1 quadrillion on a Sunday, and then there's one for losing $1 trillion on a Monday. So I'm going to do that one tomorrow. But it was a fun little game. Again, like I think Shane commented on my my camera's go. Shane commented on my TA feed, being like, "It's like, what the fuck is this game? Like, I've never even heard of it." And it's like, yeah, it's been in my backlog forever. It's got like a 1.3 ratio, so it's a really, really straightforward game. It just takes a bit of time, but it's a bit of fun distraction. On the complete other side of things, as part of the huge sale that Xbox has going at the moment, I picked up Thank Goodness You're Here, which was I think it was from last year.
Yep.
A quote-unquote slapformer, because it's a platformer where the only interaction you can have is to slap things. And so it's the most British game I've ever seen in my entire life. You basically have been sent by your boss to some British mining town called Barnsworth out in the middle of fucking nowhere. And you basically just, you're waiting for the mayor, but you get bored and you just wander out into the town and just start causing fucking mayhem. It's like half Untitled Goose Game mixed with, I don't even know. Like, it's so fucking surreal and weird. Like, you're tiny for some reason, and your size keep changing, and just describing the things that happen in this game, I think spoil it. So I won't say anything more about it. It's a 3 or 4 hour game, but you're kind of just wandering around this town, meeting the people, slapping things, solving little puzzles, like sort of point and click style things, and basically the majority of the game is like there's a lot of repetition where you're kind of going back to areas after a little while, and like this game understands progression of jokes so well. I'll give one example. There is a guy who's struggling to pull up a shutter like on a store, and so you slap the lock to open it, and he opens it, and it's just a brick wall. There's nothing behind it. It's just a brick wall behind the shutter. And then he just puts up a sign that just says, Nick's like secondhand bricks. And he's just selling the brick wall. And then every time you come back to it after doing like one of the little story quest things, some of the bricks are gone from the wall, and he sold a few. And there's some people who be like, I don't know if I need bricks, but like bricks could be good. They're good quality bricks. And eventually the sort of reveal is eventually you come back there and the wall is just gone, and there's just a guy sitting there watching TV being like, bro, you just sold my fucking wall. What the fuck is going on? And then he changes the sign to Nick's secondhand furniture. And then you come back later, and all of the guy's furniture is gone. He's just sitting there with a can of beans on like a little stove. He's got no clothes. He's got no furniture. Everything is sold out of the place. And you can just go over and just smack the can of beans over, and you get an achievement just being like, fuck you. Anyway, like that's just the example. Like this game understands humor, like the way comedy works in terms of like timing and callbacks, and like it's very, very funny. It is very, very British. So like if you don't have that kind of sense of humor, like you maybe won't gel with you. But I was laughing a lot. Like things in the background, just like the way that they've like set up the jokes, the way that like the surreal shit that goes on. Like your character doesn't talk. There's very little explanation for anything going on. I would definitely recommend it. It's like half off at the moment, and it's one of those games that came out last year that I think was a bit of an indie darling that people like had a really good time with. I think now it's at the price point where you should play it for sure. So definitely check that out. It's really, really good for a laugh. I do have like 3 other games that I'm kind of like started, but I'll save those for next week once I've played a bit more of them.
Yeah. Well, I think everything else I've done is just everything we're still doing, like Sworn, Elden Ring, Cloverbed I'm still doing. I don't really have much to say that we haven't really said on them, so.
Easy. All right. In that case, I think that's pretty much everything. Cameron, you got anything else, or are we good to move on?
That's it. All good.
Easy. All right, well, let's move on to the word challenge. Everyone's favorite competition where Kirby comes up with a game and you go on a Discord and guess what the game is. Each week he gives away a clue. And if you get it right, a GIF pops up or an image pops up and you win a prize. So the first clue from last week was, this famous family's cousin sees things from a different perspective. Mm-hmm. And now the new clue is, it's over 9,000 brackets for now. What does that mean? We have no idea. Kirby is now that Kirby has taken over this. He's not telling us what the answers are, so we get to guess as well and have fun.
Yes, we have no control.
Yeah. So he's probably picked some weird esoteric shit that we've never fucking heard of, because that's how he rolls. So get your guesses in. You get one guess per hour on our Discord. Make sure you join our Discord as well. It's the best place to see everything that's going on with this, the theme month, letting you know when the podcast is live, all that kind of stuff. You know how it all works. Leaderboards. Keo, do you want to read that out?
Yeah, so Thrash Forever, you okay? Number 3 on the leaderboard, 5,800 gamer score. Playing original mode 10 in was the last achievement in ACA Neo Geo Baseball Stars 2. So playing ACA games, I thought you probably would have had a few more achievements, but maybe he's running out. Don't know.
He's been taking it a little easy.
Martel has done 6,250, so slow as well, but has been playing Forza Horizon 6. And a Grey Shark is in the number 1 spot with Ben 10 Power Trip. Yeah, so
32,731 gamer score.
32,000, yeah, 731. Yeah.
All right. Good job, guys. If you want to join the leaderboards, let us know. We're on TA. We'll get you an invite. Completions, Cameron.
Yep. So Chin Doctor did mixtape. Venoms did the Thermitage?
The Thermitage.
That's it. Thank you. Left 4 Legacy did State of Decay 2. Bottle of Sharks did Helldivers 2, Firewatch. Firehawk did Planet Alana, Mixtape and Police Simulator. Thrash Forever did Planet Alana, Collabra. Nick Free IDV did Ready or Not. Rapture did Collabra. Mad Lefty did Planet of Lana. And the Shah of Many Names did Hades 2, which is why I'm wearing my Persephone and Hades hoodie today.
And I know it's not on the list, but Todd's in the chat, but he finished I'm in Love with Your Dead Grandma.
He did, yes, just before the show started, yes.
So,
and last completion shout out, we reached 250 followers on Twitch.
Oh, hell yes. Fantastic. Thank you all for following. We do really appreciate it. Obviously, we know we have a lot of audio listeners, people who watch the VOD, but it's always great to see people catching up with the Twitch as well. So thank you so much for that.
When we're live, yeah.
All right, and I think that's pretty much going to bring us to the end of the show. As always, you can find us on Twitch, Xbox Hall of Gamers. Come say hi, hang out. We love the support and questions. We try to interact with the chat as much as we can while we do this. I don't think I have anything to share. I'm Neomaster on everything as always. Keo, anything for you?
Nothing for me at the moment, but if you go to my True Achievements page, my link tree is there, which links to the Discord here, the Hall of Gamers stuff, and all my stuff on YouTube too. So
excellent. Cameron?
I just want to shout out the chat. We've got quite a few people in here today hanging with us on a Sunday morning, so thank you for that.
Yeah, always good to get people in here.
I'll shill our community members.
Absolutely. We love our community members. There's some fantastic people that we love interacting with. All right, well, that's going to bring us to the end of episode 213. We'll catch you guys next week. See you later.
Peace.
Peace, everyone.